Chosen one, if you're reading this right now, I want you to pause and recognize something profound. This moment, this very instance, is no accident. You may think that you've simply stumbled upon this video, but the truth is much more powerful. This is divine timing. God has led you here, and that fact alone is an undeniable testament to your purpose. There's a reason why you're hearing these words. It's because your spirit has been called to something greater, something beyond what you can currently comprehend. The life you've been living, the struggles you've faced, and even the times you've felt alone, these were never meant to define you. You are not here by chance. You have been chosen for a reason. You were chosen before the foundation of the world to fulfill a divine mission, to walk a path that leads to more than just survival. You were chosen to thrive in a life of abundance and divine prosperity. But this abundance is not just about material wealth. It's about every area of your life, your relationships, your health, your purpose. Everything is connected to the divine plan God has designed for you, and you are about to step into that plan in ways that will surpass your wildest dreams. The past may have been filled with challenges, but those challenges were not a punishment. They were preparation. They were forging you, shaping you, and making you ready for this moment, the moment when your destiny unfolds. You've experienced setbacks and hardships, but none of them could ever hold you back from the incredible future God has already set before you. Your struggles are over. God is now taking charge of your life in a way that you've never imagined before. Understand this: your purpose is not just something you will achieve. It is something that is already written. This calling is ancient, etched into the very fabric of your existence. You may not have known it yet, but your life has always been moving toward this point, the point where divine provision and supernatural wealth are yours for the taking. This is the moment where your life transforms, where the struggle ends, and where divine abundance begins to flow into every area of your life. Your calling is far greater than anything you've ever experienced. Now is your time to embrace it fully. God is calling you to greatness, and greatness is not earned, it is bestowed. The abundance you've been longing for is already on its way to you. Trust in that. Understanding divine wealth, the end of struggle. For so long, you have been conditioned to believe that wealth and success come through sheer hard work, grinding, and relentless effort. You've been taught that you must fight for what you want, that success is something you have to earn through endless struggle. But what if I told you that this is not the way of divine wealth? What if I told you that you were never meant to struggle for your prosperity, that the wealth you seek does not come through your own efforts, but through divine provision? Divine wealth is not the product of your own toil or labor. It is a gift, a promise that comes from God's unfailing faithfulness. God's provision is not like the systems of this world, which require endless effort and fear of scarcity. Divine wealth is an unbreakable stream that flows from the Creator, a river that never runs dry. This is the nature of God's provision. It is infinite, it is continuous, and it is boundless. The abundance you will experience is not dependent on your own ability to work harder or strive further. It is a result of God's unshakable promise to provide for you. The idea that you must struggle to survive is a lie that you must now release. From now on, you will no longer be bound by the chains of financial stress or insecurity. God has promised you an everlasting flow of abundance, and that promise is about to be fulfilled in ways you cannot yet imagine. You are about to experience a divine shift, where the need for constant effort will be replaced with a natural flow of provision that comes from God's faithfulness alone. This shift is not a temporary change, it is a permanent transformation. Your prosperity will no longer be a struggle, but a divine right. Wealth is not merely about financial gain, it's about total transformation. True divine wealth touches every aspect of your life, your relationships, your health, your mindset, your purpose. When you embrace divine wealth, you are stepping into a life where abundance is not just a physical reality, but a spiritual one. It is a life where your needs are met before you even ask, a life where you are constantly filled with peace because you know that God is your provider. This is the kind of wealth that changes everything. It is the wealth that brings freedom from fear, freedom from doubt, and freedom from the constant chase for more. With divine wealth, you will experience peace that surpasses all understanding, joy that never fades, and a sense of security that can never be shaken. The struggle is over, chosen one. You are about to step into a new season where you will experience abundance in all areas of your life. This is the season where God's promises are made manifest. From now on, you will no longer struggle for what you need. You will walk in the confidence that everything you need has already been provided for. And as you step into this new reality, you will begin to understand that the abundance you experience is not just for you. It is a reflection of God's faithfulness, and it is meant to bless others. This wealth is not only for your benefit, it is to equip you to fulfill your divine purpose, to help others, and to make a difference in the world. The role of trust, stepping into the covenant of prosperity. Trust is the key to unlocking the divine wealth that God has set aside for you. Without trust, you will never be able to fully step into the fullness of God's promises. Trust is the bridge between where you are and where God wants to take you. It is the essential element that allows you to release the burden of control and surrender to God's perfect timing. The moment you truly trust in God's provision, you will find that everything falls into place effortlessly. Trusting in God's promise of prosperity means letting go of the need to control every outcome. It means releasing the fear that you won't have enough or that your needs won't be met. It means embracing the certainty that God is your provider and He will never fail you. When you place your trust in God, you no longer worry about the future. You no longer toil endlessly, striving to make ends meet. You simply walk in faith, knowing that God's plan for your life is already unfolding perfectly and that everything you need will be provided at the right time. The beauty of divine wealth is that it is not earned through your own efforts. It is a gift that is freely given by God. Your role is to trust in His ability to provide, to believe that His promises are true, and to walk in obedience to His will. When you do this, you will see doors open that you never thought possible. Opportunities will arise that you could never have anticipated, and doors that were once closed will suddenly swing wide open. The path ahead may not always be clear, but your trust in God will guide you every step of the way. The covenant of prosperity that God offers you is not one of struggle, but one of trust and obedience. Your task is to align with God's will, to trust His timing, and to believe that He will open doors of blessing that no man can shut. This is not passive faith. This is active faith, faith that moves mountains, that creates opportunities, and that transforms your life in ways you can't even imagine. When you trust in God's provision, you begin to step into a life where abundance flows naturally. The more you trust, the more you will see His hand move in your life. You will begin to witness the supernatural flow of blessings, not just financially, but in every area of your life. This trust frees you from the fear and anxiety that once controlled you. It brings peace, confidence, and a sense of security that only comes from knowing that the Creator of the universe is watching over you. You are no longer bound by the fear of scarcity or the worry of the unknown. You are walking in the certainty of God's provision, knowing that He has already made a way for your prosperity. This is the essence of divine wealth, the ability to trust that God's plan is perfect and to walk boldly into the future He has designed for you. As you step into this new season of abundance, know that your trust in God will be the foundation upon which your prosperity is built. The supernatural flow of abundance. Chosen one, divine abundance is not something you chase after, it is something you step into. It is not a goal to be reached, but a reality to be embraced. The supernatural flow of abundance is God's design for your life, a constant, unbroken river of blessings that flows from Him to you, unimpeded by the limitations of the world. This flow is not a trickle, it is a vast, inexhaustible stream, one that will never run dry, no matter how much you draw from it. When you open yourself to God's provision, you are tapping into a divine flow that has no end. It is a flow that transcends the physical realm and touches every aspect of your existence, your finances, your health, your relationships, and your purpose. This is not something you earn through effort, but something you receive through faith and trust in God's faithfulness. As you step into the supernatural flow of abundance, understand that it's not just about having enough to meet your needs, it's about more than enough. It's about living in the overflow, experiencing abundance in ways that surpass your comprehension. God does not want you to live in scarcity or to barely make it through life. He wants you to experience a life of fullness, a life where you are constantly filled, constantly provided for, and constantly enriched in every area. The supernatural flow of abundance is a promise that transcends the systems of the world. While the world operates on scarcity, God operates on overflow. In His kingdom, there are no limits. His resources are endless, and when you align with His will, you begin to witness this unending flow of blessings. Every step you take toward the abundance that is already yours brings you closer to the fullness of what God has prepared for you. When you surrender your will to God's and allow His flow to move through you, you become a vessel of abundance, someone who not only receives but shares with others. The more you receive from God's supernatural flow, the more you will be able to give, and the more you give, the more that will flow back to you. This cycle of abundance is divinely orchestrated, and it is yours for the taking. Letting go of doubt, embracing confidence in God's provision. Chosen one, doubt has no place in your life anymore. Doubt is the enemy of faith. It is the voice that tells you that what God has promised you is too good to be true. It is the whisper that says you're not worthy of His blessings, that you cannot achieve the abundance He has ordained for you. But I am here to tell you that doubt is a lie. You are worthy, you are chosen. You are destined to receive the fullness of God's promises, and nothing, absolutely nothing, can stand in the way of that. Letting go of doubt is an essential part of embracing the life that God has set before you. When you choose to trust in God's provision, you release the fear and uncertainty that come from doubting His ability to provide. Confidence in God's provision is not based on your circumstances, but on His unchanging nature. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. If He has promised you abundance, He will deliver. It is not a matter of if, but when. The more you trust in God, the more you will see His provision unfold in your life. As you embrace this truth, the doubt that once held you back will fall away. You will begin to walk with a new confidence, knowing that God's plan for you is perfect and that He is always at work, even when you can't see it. Confidence in God's provision means that you no longer worry about how things will work out. You know that He has already made a way for you, and that everything you need will be provided in His perfect timing. This confidence is not born of self-reliance, but of knowing that you are supported by a power greater than yourself. You can now walk through life with the assurance that God's goodness will never fail you, that His promises are true, and that His provision will always meet your needs. This is the confidence that comes from trusting in the One who created the universe, the One who has a plan for your life far beyond what you could ever ask or think. Divine wealth as a testimony to others. Your wealth, chosen one, is not just for you. It is a testimony to the world of God's goodness, faithfulness, and power. When God blesses you, it is not only for your own benefit, but also to show others that His promises are real and that He is a provider. Your divine wealth will be a living testament to the fact that God can do the impossible. Your success will inspire others to believe that they too can experience God's provision, and your abundance will serve as proof that God's promises are true. People will look at your life and see something extraordinary. They will see someone who was once struggling, someone who was once lost in the wilderness of financial uncertainty, now living a life of overflow. And when they ask how it happened, you will be able to tell them, it happened because of God. Your wealth is a direct reflection of God's love for you and His faithfulness to His word. It is a sign that you are walking in alignment with His will, and as you continue to walk in that alignment, your testimony will grow. God's provision for you will not only meet your needs, but it will also serve to bless those around you. When others see how God has blessed you, they will be drawn to Him. They will be encouraged to step out in faith, to trust in His promises, and to believe that their own blessings are on the way. Your testimony of divine wealth is not meant to be kept to yourself. It is meant to be shared with the world. As you continue to step into the abundance God has promised you, remember that your wealth is a tool for impacting others, for advancing God's kingdom, and for fulfilling your divine purpose. The more you walk in your divine wealth, the more you will see how it spreads out to bless others, and the more you will realize that your abundance is not just a gift, but a responsibility to use it to help others experience the same blessings you've received. Embracing the overflow, no limits to your potential. There are no limits to what God has for you, chosen one. The abundance you are about to step into is not just for today, it is for your entire life. The blessings God has prepared for you have no end. The potential for growth, for expansion, for influence is limitless when you are walking in divine alignment. As you embrace this truth, you begin to see that your potential is not confined by the limitations of the world. While the world may tell you that there are ceilings to your success, God's kingdom operates on a different principle, one of overflow. God does not just want you to have enough to get by. He wants you to live in abundance, to experience a life that overflows with blessings that you can then share with others. As you step into this divine flow of abundance, you will begin to see your life expand in ways you never imagined. The goals that once seemed too big, the dreams that once felt out of reach, will suddenly seem small in comparison to what God is about to do in your life. There are no ceilings, no barriers, no limitations in God's kingdom. He has a plan for you that is bigger than anything you could ever dream up for yourself. Your potential is unlimited, and as you trust in God and align yourself with His will, you will begin to see doors open that you never thought possible. You will experience growth, success, and prosperity in every area of your life, financially, spiritually, emotionally, and relationally. The overflow is not just about more material wealth. It's about living a life that is full of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. As you step into this overflow, remember that it is not just for you, it is for everyone around you. Your abundance will touch others, inspire them, and help them to believe that they too can live in the overflow. There are no limits to your potential. Chosen one, your time to step into the fullness of what God has for you is now. The power of alignment, walking in divine purpose. Chosen one, when we talk about alignment with God's will, we are speaking of a powerful, transformative force that governs the way you experience life. To align with divine purpose is to step into the flow of God's plan for your life, recognizing that He, the Creator of all, has already mapped out a perfect and prosperous path for you. Alignment is not a passive act. It is an active, conscious choice to surrender your will to God's, to trust in His timing, and to move in harmony with the divine current that is already at work in your life. When you align with God's purpose, your life moves from a place of resistance to a place of ease and flow. It is as if you step into a river that is already moving, and instead of paddling against the current, you allow the current to carry you effortlessly to your destiny. Many times, we resist alignment because we are afraid of losing control. We want to know exactly how things will unfold, when they will unfold, and what the outcome will be. But divine alignment is about surrendering the need to know every step of the way, trusting that God, who is the creator of the universe, knows what He is doing. The beauty of aligning with God's will is that it brings peace into your heart. You no longer have to strive, force, or control. Instead, you live with the deep knowing that God has already prepared the way. When you walk in alignment with His purpose, you begin to see that everything in your life starts to make sense. You no longer feel scattered or uncertain. You find that your steps are ordered, your decisions are clear, and the doors you once had to fight to open now open effortlessly. It's as if the world itself conspires to align with you when you walk in alignment with God. This is the beauty of divine alignment. It is not about hard work or pushing through obstacles. It's about trusting that, when you walk with God, the path ahead will be clear, the provision will be there, and the success will follow. The reason this alignment works is because it's part of God's divine design. You are created for greatness. You are created with purpose, and that purpose is aligned with His will for your life. You are not a mistake, chosen one, and your steps are not random. God has been weaving together every moment, every challenge, every success, and every relationship to bring you to this very place. He knows exactly what you need to fulfill your divine destiny, and as you align with His will, you begin to see how everything starts to come together in ways that are greater than you could ever have imagined. This alignment is the key to unlocking divine abundance in your life. It is the key to stepping into the richness of God's promises, both spiritually and materially. As you align yourself more deeply with God's purpose, you will find that your life begins to flourish. Every area of your life, your finances, your health, your relationships, and your personal growth will begin to reflect the prosperity that comes with walking in divine alignment. This alignment is not just about living a life of comfort, it is about living a life of impact, a life that touches others, a life that fulfills God's purpose for your existence. The power of alignment is not just in the peace and prosperity it brings to you, it is in the way it empowers you to make a difference in the world. When you align with divine purpose, you are not just living for yourself, you are living as a vessel for God's glory to bring His light into the world. This is the power of alignment. It allows you to walk in the fullness of your purpose and to step into the divine flow of prosperity that God has already set aside for you. From scarcity to supernatural prosperity. Chosen one, the shift from scarcity to supernatural prosperity is one of the most profound transformations you will experience on your spiritual journey. For so long, the world has taught you that success is something you have to fight for, that wealth, abundance, and prosperity are only accessible to those who work harder, push further, and never give up. But that is the world's way. The world's way is rooted in fear, in limitation, and in competition. The world operates on a system of scarcity. There's only so much to go around, and if you want it, you have to outwork everyone else to get your share. But I am here to tell you that God's kingdom operates on an entirely different principle, a principle of abundance, a principle of overflow, a principle that moves beyond the limitations of human understanding. Supernatural prosperity is not about what you can accumulate through your own efforts, chosen one. It is about stepping into God's divine provision, where your needs are met before you even ask, and where you are given more than enough to fulfill your divine purpose. When you shift from a mindset of scarcity to one of supernatural prosperity, you are stepping into a reality where there are no limits, where the resources of the universe are at your disposal, and where God's promises are more than enough to provide for every area of your life. Scarcity tells you that you will never have enough, that you must fight and struggle for what you want, and that you are limited by your circumstances. But supernatural prosperity tells you that there is no limit to what God can provide. His wealth is infinite, and He is ready to pour it out upon you as you align with His will. This transformation happens when you release the belief that you must work endlessly to earn your place in this world. Instead, you begin to trust in God's provision. You begin to understand that He is your provider, that He owns all things, and that His wealth is not limited by human standards. You start to see that you are part of a divine economy, one where your needs are always met, and where your success is a reflection of God's grace, not your own effort. This shift is not just about having more money, it's about realizing that you are already rich in ways you can't yet fully comprehend. Supernatural prosperity is the result of aligning yourself with God's purpose for your life and trusting that He will provide for you in ways that go beyond what you could ever ask or imagine. This divine prosperity brings freedom, freedom from the fear of lack, freedom from the constant worry about how you will make it, and freedom from the pressures of trying to control every outcome. When you step into supernatural prosperity, you no longer have to fear the future. You know that God has already prepared the way, that your future is secure in His hands, and that every provision you need will be supplied. This shift is profound because it transforms the way you see the world. No longer are you bound by the rules of the world's economy. You are now operating in the divine economy, where abundance is the rule, not the exception. Final word, your time has come. Chosen one, I want you to understand this deeply within your soul. Your time has come. The waiting, the striving, the wondering if things will ever change, all of it ends today. This is the moment you've been waiting for, the moment where everything in your life shifts from a place of struggle to a place of divine abundance. Your time to step into the fullness of God's promises has arrived. You no longer have to wait for the future. The future is now. You no longer have to wonder when your breakthrough will come. It has already arrived. This is the moment when everything begins to align for you. The struggles that once seemed insurmountable are now behind you. The obstacles that once stood in your way are now being cleared. Your breakthrough is not something you will have to work for anymore. It is already in motion. You are walking into a season of prosperity, a season of favor, a season where God's promises are fulfilled in your life. This is your time to shine. This is the moment where your destiny unfolds before you in a way that surpasses anything you have ever dreamed. You were chosen for greatness, and this is the time to step fully into the divine purpose that has always been yours. This is not just another phase or another season. This is the beginning of a new chapter. The struggles of the past are over. The delays are over. The waiting is over. Your time has come, and you are about to step into the fullness of what God has for you. Walk with confidence, walk with assurance, and walk with the knowledge that everything you have believed for is already here. This is your time. The time has come for you to rise. The unshakable confidence of God's promises. Chosen one. As you step into the divine abundance that God has set aside for you, I want you to understand one thing. God's promises are unshakable. They are not based on your circumstances, your efforts, or your performance. They are based on His unchanging nature, His perfect will, and His faithfulness to His word. When God promises you something, it is as good as done. You can stand with confidence, knowing that He who promised is faithful. No matter what the world tells you, no matter what the enemy tries to convince you of, God's promises are eternal. They cannot be altered, shaken, or undone. When you embrace the truth of God's promises, you will walk with an unshakable confidence. Confidence that your future is secure in His hands, confidence that your needs will always be met, and confidence that you are walking in the fullness of what God has ordained for you. Rest in this truth, chosen one. God is with you. He is for you, and He is making a way for you. His provision is more than enough. His promises are unbreakable. Walk confidently into your future, knowing that God's goodness and faithfulness will never fail.